everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Meredith E. Phillips, and I'm a SmoochPit 2024 mentee, I guess. So if you missed the stunning conclusion to the last video that was posted, it was actually in Querying Chronicles number 4. I'll link it below. But I was selected to be in SmoochPit's 2024 program. It's a mentorship program for romance writers specifically, and somehow I was selected to be part of it. I have another vlog showing me like working on the submission materials when I was applying, so I'll link all that below. I'll put all of this in like a playlist together, so if you want to see the whole thing you can. But it's been a very exciting just weird week, honestly. I found out on Monday that I'd gotten in. I was selected by Alexandra Vasti. Do you guys understand? I love her. I've read all of her books. They're fantastic. She read my book and was like, yes, I want to like do more with it. I don't understand. It's fine. The imposter syndrome, I will tell you, kicked in hefty, but we're just going to pretend like that's not real. Anyway, I found out on Monday that I'd been selected, and I've honestly, it is Thursday now. Did I even say that yet? It's Thursday. And I'm still trying to like process that this is happening and real, and I get to work with this awesome author on making my book better and ready for querying next year. Like, I'm still processing. This morning though, I get to meet with her. We get to have our initial like meeting, and we'll just be going over some of the outline for the program, timelines, initial thoughts on edits and things like that. So I'm really excited / super anxious as per usual for me, but we're just gonna, you know, tamp down the emotions and pretend that doesn't exist either. So that meeting is in just a little while, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But let me tell you just real quick, like what exactly this is for and like what you are supposed to get out of the mentorship. The basic thing you get is working one-on-one with either a published author or someone who is like, they have a book deal and it just hasn't been published yet, or they have an agent and they're on submission or something like that. Someone who's like, you know, they've reached a certain level in their author career. You get to work with them on your query letter, your synopsis, and the first 50 pages of your manuscript. After that, it is up to the mentor if they want to offer to work on like the entire rest of the book or the first half of the book, or like whatever they have time, capacity, willpower to do. Like, they can offer to work on more with you. I'm not sure yet like if I'm gonna have something like that, but even so, let's work on the first 50 pages. That's totally great. I'm so thrilled to get any help whatsoever. So I'll know a little more after this meeting this morning. And then the other thing that I didn't, so like I knew about that. Like that's sort of like the main part of the program, I guess. But then there's more. There's more. There's a chance to connect with all of the other mentees, which is exciting. Always excited to make new writer friends, especially in the romance space. And then the other thing that I had no idea about, like, I don't know if I just missed this or if I didn't understand exactly what they meant. At the end of the program in February, there'll be an agent showcase. Now, last year, at the end of the program, they had like individual posts for each of the mentees introducing their book, general premise, comps, like that kind of thing on their Instagram platform. And so when I saw agent showcase, I thought that's what they meant, like getting this individual post, and like that's pretty cool. But it's not. Like, I think that's part of it, but the main agent showcase is a like password protected site section of the website where they will have information on you and your project, and agents can go in and look at everybody's stuff. And if they want to then reach out to you for more information, query, full request, whatever they want to do, like they can do that. That is so cool. Getting that opportunity to have like, to be like put right in front of an agent is really awesome. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm just so thrilled and excited and honored and grateful to be part of this. Again, still in the processing mode. So anyway, just wanted to say hi, introduce the vlog, and I'll check back in with you after I've had this meeting. Very excited. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, it is about time. I am not anxious at all. That's a lie. Hello. Good. How are you? Yeah, the end is a mess. I've rewritten the ending too. In the month or since I sent that, I was like, this does not work for so many reasons. So I'll send you the new one and you can see if that's any better. I still have like, I still don't know if I'm happy with it though. Okay, yeah, sounds great. Yeah, absolutely. All right, slightly different angle than normal. I'm sitting at my work desk. Okay, we concluded our little Zoom meeting. Honestly, I'm feeling so anxious. I was excited for this Zoom meeting because I was excited, obviously, but then I was also anxious. And I was like, as soon as I have this meeting, I won't be anxious anymore because I'll have had the meeting that I'm anxious about. Then I had the meeting and now I'm still anxious. I think I'm just like coming down off the anxiety. I don't know. But it was a good meeting. She was very kind with her comments and complimentary about different aspects of the project. So that was nice to hear. We set up kind of a little timeline for ourselves about when I'm gonna complete certain things, when she's gonna complete certain things and get it back to me and all that kind of stuff. So my first task is going to be, you guessed it, rewriting the ending. Draft 4, let's go. Let's rewrite the ending again. She was, I could tell she was a little hesitant to like, not hesitant, but just, I think she didn't want me to feel bad. She was like, I think the thing that needs maybe the most work is the ending. And I was like, absolutely 100% agree with you. And she was like, okay, good. So yes, she had some really great points about why the current ending doesn't work and some sort of like avenues to go down, things to think about. So I'm going to do some brainstorming over the next couple days and try to figure out a better way to wrap things up. I was very interested. She was able to sort of like pinpoint like, this isn't what's working, this aspect of it right here. And I was like, oh yeah. And she also just had some like other things to say, like, you know, it'd be interesting to see if this kind of thing happened instead of this kind of thing. And I was like, oh yeah, I'd never even considered that because, you know. So yeah, lots to think about. I think right now, maybe this is it. I think right now I'm still anxious because I don't have like a full solution to the ending problem. And now I also have like a deadline for when I need to have it done and back to her. And so then I'm anxious because I feel like I don't have a plan yet. Once I have a plan, I will be good to go. I'll be ready to like do the revision work and get in there and do all the things. But at the moment, I don't have a plan. And so the idea of having a deadline for something I don't know yet what I'm doing, maybe that's what's making me anxious right now. That's fair. That's fair. So anyway, yeah, I'll be thinking about that over the next couple days. She was open to like either doing another Zoom call or emailing, brainstorm kind of stuff. So I think what I'm going to try to do is, I don't know. I like the idea of meeting again over Zoom, but I'm also the worst at being like, hey, here's a coherent idea. Like verbally saying it, it'll be so much easier for me if I just like type it out. So maybe I'll just do that. Anyway, I think what I'll try to do is figure out my new solution, my new solution to this freaking ending, and then kind of type out just like a little summary of what I'm thinking and send that to her and see what she thinks. And if she has any like kind of comments, then I can, you know, reconfigure things or whatever. So that is my current assignment. The revision is due to her by November 15th. Today's the 17th, so I've got basically a month, which is totally doable. That is totally doable. I think what I want to do though, because remember at the end of the last vlog, which you'd have to go 2 vlogs back to see, I was trying to get through my reread of draft 3 and sort of take notes on what I didn't like or what I wanted to fix up. They're overall like fairly minor things. So I'm going to try to not only rework the ending, I'm also going to try to go through the book again and do some of these revision things I have outlined for myself already. After that, once I send it to her, the, newly completed manuscript, she'll have 3 weeks to read it, make all of her notes, do all of the things like that, and then send it back to me with all of her feedback. And then from there, obviously, I'll be redoing things and editing and revising, whatever, to answer whatever issues she finds at that point. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But for now, it might be time to pull out that phone again and do another running around in the living room talking to myself. But now we have to question, because I've done that so many times and I never come up with a solution that's actually a good solution. Is the pacing and talking to myself actually a good way for me to process? I feel like it is. Like I said the last time, I do come up with ideas. Maybe not the best ideas, but now I feel like I have a little more direction in terms of where to take things. We'll see. We'll see. I'll think about it. So anyway, that's the update for now. I'm excited. Looking forward to making it better. So I'll be back with more updates probably over the weekend. We'll do our regular Saturday, Sunday vlogging. So I'll see you then. Hey everyone, happy Saturday. It is the 20th. No, it's not. It's the 19th, Saturday the 19th of October. And it's actually sweater weather here in Texas, but only for the morning. So in the mornings, it's been down in like the low 60s. It's feeling a little crisp outside, and then like by mid-afternoon it's back into the 80s. We're not going to talk about that, and we're not going to consider that when we put on clothes for the day. I'm going to wear sweaters, okay? It's nice and like just cool. It feels so good. And even when it's getting up into those like bordering on summer temperatures, it's not as humid. So I'm going to take that as a win and declare it officially fall here in Texas. I have had so many thoughts and feelings over the last 48 hours. I don't even know where to start, honestly. Okay, so I had the meeting with Alexandra on Thursday morning, and we both agreed that the ending needed some help. So that's the first task. But when I tell you the imposter syndrome is kicking in hefty. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. There's definitely been like, oh my gosh, can I do this? I don't know if I can do this. And then I'm like, you can do it. Just, oh my gosh, you have a deadline and you're definitely going to meet it, because I do not miss deadlines. Period. End of story. Unless, caveat, I'm like in the hospital. You know, if I'm in a car accident and I'm laid in the hospital for 3 weeks, that will be a valid excuse. However, other than that, we're meeting deadlines. So I think I said this in the last clip, but honestly, like my anxiety also is super high because I don't yet have that plan. Once I have the plan, I feel like I'll be fine, because I'll know, okay, well, I have to do this, 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 and this by this date, and then I'll be good to go. But I don't have that all like mapped out yet, and I don't have like a clear picture for all of the revision stuff I need to do at this point. So that's what we're working on this weekend. By the end of this weekend, the goal is to have like a solid plan in place for how I want to revise the end of this book. So we know that if you've been around for the last couple months, I have rewritten the end of this book for every single draft. So draft 1 had one ending, draft 2 had a different ending, draft 3 had a different ending. I'm also declaring this officially the beginning of draft 4. Draft 4, we're gonna do a different ending. The feedback she gave me was great. She had some different points about like maybe to do this or maybe to do that. But one of the things that she did where I was like, duh, you should have thought to do this, because I feel like it's a lesson I've learned and then I just like didn't think of it. Anyway, this is just like general, like try this if you're stuck on something. I've found this helpful in the past. And the advice is if you're stuck on a particular scene or plot point, or you get to a point in the manuscript where you're like, something isn't working here, don't just look at that plot point. Go back like 2-3 plot points before that and look at that, because a lot of times it's the lead up to that plot point that is like messing things up. So that's literally what she suggested. She was like, go back to like this thing and maybe have this end differently, and then go from there with doing the ending stuff. And so I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. so I'm going to be brainstorming, and I need to re-outline basically Act 4. I think I'm going to do not a total rewrite of Act 4, but a pretty good chunk of it. At the moment, Act 4 is only about 15,000 words though. So I want to get out a calendar at this point and kind of like look back of like, okay, when do I need to have this done? When do I want to start writing the new stuff? When do I want to have that done by? Just to kind of like map it out in my head. I think that's going to help me chill out a little bit. So I've got my planner here. Ta-da! I'm going to turn to the October and November calendars. I need to have this done and completed and finished, etc. by November 15th. That is when I need to have the draft to her. From there, she's going to look through it and actually do all of her notes and blah, 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 blah. And then I'll get it back to do more revisions after that. But yeah, so let me get my calendar thing going. Let me get a pencil. Let me figure out what I need to do and see if some concrete dates will help me just like chill out a little bit. Oh my gosh. So let's do that. Okay, that took a lot less time than I was anticipating. All right, so here's the plan. This weekend and Monday, I want to figure out what is my idea to actually finish this book, and then do like my scene by scene breakdown that I like to do for each of the scenes. I want to send that information to Alexandra by Tuesday the 22nd. Okay, so that she can kind of see what I'm thinking and then get her feedback on it. If she's like, there's like this giant plot hole here, you know, like see what she thinks. She's pretty quick with responding to stuff, so I'll get any information back from her next week, the week of the 22nd. And then if there's any kind of revision-y, kind of tweaky things I need to do, I'll fix that in the outline first. Then Friday the 25th, I want things in place so I can actually start rewrites, revision work on Act 4. I'm going to give myself 2 weeks to do that. I think that's very doable. I can write 50,000 words in a month, so I should be able to write 15 to 20,000 words-ish in 2 weeks. Like, that's very doable for me. So that means the deadline for revising Act 4 is November 8th. Friday, November 8th. That still gives me a full week to do more revision work on the earlier parts of the manuscript. So one of the things I had finished is I reread all of draft 3, and I had taken notes on each chapter with fairly minor things. For the most part, it was more like, clarify how this character knows this information. You haven't described the setting at all in this chapter. Like, maybe add that in. It's like a lot of little nitpicky things. So I'd like to be able to go back and at least hit some of that stuff, some of the more outstanding things that I'm like, ooh, this is a little cringe. I can definitely do a lot of that in a week. I don't know if I'll get through all of my notes in a week, but I at least want to go through again and just sort of like fiddle with some of that little, you know, slightly more minor stuff. And then on the 15th of November, I'll hopefully have it completed, and I can send it to her. From there, just so you kind of have an outline of what all is happening, she'll have 3 weeks to look over the manuscript, do all of her notes, give me her entire feedback on the whole book, and then I will have, what will I have? I'll have like a month, I think. I'll have like a month-ish to like review her notes, start implementing all of whatever kind of feedback she's done, and then if I have any portion of it that I want to send back to her for additional feedback after I've done revision work, I can do that in January. So that's pretty far out though. So I'm not like super thinking about that. So we've got our plan. I'm going to write down these dates somewhere where I can see them and post it for myself. I'll have it in my planner too, of course. I like having dates like everywhere. Just like show me all of the deadlines, show me all of the things so I don't miss something. So yeah, let me get myself finished organizing myself over here, and then I'm gonna pull up the notes she sent me. I'm gonna pull up a few other things, and we're gonna get to work doing some hardcore brainstorming. I officially have my little sticky note with all of my dates on it. I could put it on my shelf up here, but that won't look very aesthetic. So we're gonna put this. This is not really the biggest problem I have at the moment. I don't need to be spending a huge amount of time on where to stick a post-it note. All right, we're just gonna put it in my planner for the moment. I feel somewhat better. Let's get to work. Let's get to work brainstorming. I did have some ideas last night as I was like cooking dinner and eating dinner and standing around after dinner. So I'm gonna jot down the stuff I was thinking last night, and then we'll go from there, I guess. All right, it's like 20 afternoon at this point. This is tough. I have one piece. I have one piece figured out and nothing else. So I'm still thinking about like, okay, here they are in the pit of despair. How are they getting out? And it's tricky because part of this has to do with guardianship over somebody. And back in ye olden England times, right? As far as I've been able to find, and I did do some extensive research on this, a father had complete control over his children until they reached their majority, which is like 25, I believe. But especially for young women, like he can't give custody to anybody else. Like that child is his responsibility until he is dead. He could send the child to live with someone else, but he could then at any point decide like, nope, they have to come back to live with me. You know, like you can't take that parental custody away from him. I'm trying to figure out like what kind of loophole is there around legal things from like 1811. So that's fun. Anyway, I'm still thinking. It's kind of lunchtime, but I'm also like not super hungry. I don't know. Maybe I should eat food to help my brain. Okay, let me figure out what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Okay, so after lunch, I did have lunch. I decided to go on a little walk around the neighborhood since, as I said before, it's pretty decent weather outside. It is about 80 degrees, so in the direct sun, it's a little toasty, but there's a lot of trees in our neighborhood, so it wasn't too bad in terms of heat. I am not sweating, so that's great. But I thought maybe a walk would help in general. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I get so distracted just thinking about like other random stuff while I'm on walks that it doesn't really help me focus on the story necessarily. So anyway, I'm back home now, and I keep coming back to the fact that there is no way for these characters to legally compel or legally force the antagonist into giving over custody. That's like one of the big things in this story is my main male character wants to have his younger sister live with him so that she doesn't have to live with her father. But again, like even if the father like hated the daughter and wanted to like sign her over to him. There's no legal way for him to do that. So there has to be some other way, not only, like, she can go live with him. That's not a problem. But they have to have a way to convince the father that, yes, he wants to allow that. But then there also has to be a compelling reason for him not to swoop in 2 weeks later and just be like, no, you have to come back and live with me now. There is, at the beginning of the book, there's like one way where they're like, okay, we have to do this thing. They fail initially with the initial plan. That's like the Dark Night of the Soul kind of moment in Act 3 or whatever it is. I need another way for this to work out. I have a way, but I don't know how to like stretch it out. As soon as they think of this idea, then it's like, okay, we'll just do the idea. Like, why are you waiting around? So, but then the book is going to be over really fast. There needs to be like something else. So yeah, I'm still just sort of struggling through like these last couple plot points, I think. All right, well, back to this mess. We'll see what we can do. There's a tiny gremlin here. All right, so have I done work today? Absolutely, yes, I have. Did I get very far with this brainstorming? Questionable. I have ideas. I'm just trying to like connect everything and make it work. Did I research parliamentary acts that were passed or rejected in 1811 for like an hour? Yes, I did. For like a throwaway line that really is not what I need to be focused on right now? Absolutely. I'm going to take a break, I guess. I'll come back to this tomorrow. We'll see if ideas can percolate back here and get me somewhere by tomorrow morning. All right, I will see you then. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Let's chat in here, because I'm kind of tired of being in that office. I've spent yesterday afternoon, I spent the early hours of this morning, I spent time getting ready this morning, and I'm just mulling over lots of ideas. So one thing that I'm coming back to is, I think it was 2 vlogs back, I talked about Aaron Langston's latest book, The Finest Print. I'll link it below if you want to read it. Highly recommend. I was talking about how the ending of that book was so well done. She pulled all these different pieces together to make this really satisfying ending. And one of the things she did is she took a bad thing that had happened to the characters and she turned it into one of the ways they were able to like solve their problems, right? Which is so clever and so creative and so unexpected and just like so fun as a reader. When you're reading it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is good pasta. So I'm trying to take, there's like 2 bad things that happened to my characters at like the, I don't know, 70-75% mark, right? And I'm trying to think of a way to take that failure, that bad thing that happens, and like Uno reverse it into the thing that ends up saving them in the end. So I have some ideas, I think. I'm still trying to like totally flesh everything out. So I think what I'm going to do this morning is pull up my document and just sort of start typing out some of these thoughts, brainstorming on paper, and see if I can come to any further solution. The other thing I want to be careful of is I don't want it to be like too easy. You know, you don't want the solution to be too obvious, too easy. You definitely don't want there to be plot holes or like loopholes that could be taken advantage of by like the antagonist or something. So yeah, I just want to sort of think through things a little more. More brainstorming for me. So yeah, let's go back there. There are sometimes, I usually don't miss having a laptop, but every now and then I do, because I have a desktop computer, so I have to, you know, unless I want to drag the entire thing out to like the kitchen table, I have to work back there. And usually I'm totally fine with that, but every now and then I'm like, you know, it would be kind of nice to like work out here for a little while. I just get tired every now and then of being in that room, because my day job desk is back there too. And so I am in that room 80% of my day. I think it's a long time that I'm in that room. Anyway, let's stop procrastinating by talking about the room situation and get back there and get to work. Brown noise for today, because I'm feeling distractible. 12 hours of deep layered brown noise. Okay, but this is a political commercial. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of all the political commercials. If we could just be done with that, that would be fantastic. All right, let me get started. Okay, we can do it. We can do it. We're gonna do it now. Let's go. All right, it is 1:45. I've been just sitting here typing away, brainstorming, etc., etc. I think maybe I have a good idea. I feel like there's a plot hole I'm not seeing yet. I'm trying to think of ways, like, how could the antagonist, like, mess this up? So I'm still thinking about it, but I do have, I think, some solid ideas. I'm so, like, gun shy now because I've had 3 separate other endings that I eventually did not work, and so now I'm like, I don't know, is this good? Am I gonna wake up tomorrow and it's actually horrible? I'm gonna try to, I think, put this, like, actually fit this into more of an outline format to sort of see, like, where the scenes are falling, because right now this here is just like brain dump basically. Once I have some form of an outline completed, which I'm hoping could be maybe today, I want to sleep on it. Maybe tomorrow I'll be able to send her, my mentor, like a revised little portion of an outline for this final act and kind of get her feedback on it, because I definitely do not want to go in and actually change the manuscript with this new idea and then have her be like, but what about this? And then it's like completely invalidated, you know? So I definitely want to do that. Where's my little timeline? I think I had wanted to email her by Tuesday, right? Yeah. I'm going to keep working on this in a little bit. I'm going to grab some lunch first, and then at 1 o'clock I have a Patreon live stream. So I need to be ready for that. Speaking of Patreon, let me give a quick shout out. Thank you for signing up over on my Patreon. This week, I'd like to say a special thank you to Nadia, Renee, Alyssa, Juanita and Beatrix, Jaybird, Tammy, and Megan. Thank you guys so much for signing up over there. Just a reminder that there are paid tiers, obviously, with different perks, but there are also free options. You can sign up for free and get certain updates over there as they are available. So go check it out. The link is in my description. And now I really am going to go get lunch. So I'll be back shortly to, oh gosh, hopefully get myself together over here. All right, here we are. This is the setup, whoa, for streaming. So I'm gonna get going on this. Yeah, trying to put it into an outline. I also kind of want to double check this against like some character arc stuff I have here, just to try to find holes in it. Let me figure out how this is terrible. That's what we're trying to do right now. Makes me feel good. All right, let's go ahead and get this streaming underway. Okay, so I've definitely made some good progress on this. I've gotten through the scenes I think need to be fiddled with in Act 3. And then Act 4, I think, is going to need not like a 100% rewrite, but maybe like 75%. So I haven't gotten to that part in this outline quite yet. I'm going to try to tackle that maybe a little later today and then tomorrow. The deadline that I set for myself is to email her this new ending proposal by Tuesday. I think I can do that. I think I can do that. So that's the goal. I'll let you know next time where I'm at. Let me know how you're doing with your writing projects, and let me know if you're doing anything special for November. I know a lot of people were there. There's 10,000 options now for like what you can choose to do in November. So if you're planning to join anything, let me know what group or what challenge you've kind of attached yourself to for the moment. And then let me know what is your project? Are you going to be doing some sort of revision, editing project? Are you going to be writing a new book? Are you going to be outlining something? Let me know what you're up to. But for now, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, you can click the subscribe button. I post videos on Fridays. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.